Today is Deep Trivia about Episode 2, Deep Throat. At the opening scene, we notice a couple of things. So Ellen's is nearly an anagram of Nellis, the Air Force Base, which is home to Groom Lake and Area 51. In 1993, the true identity of the real-life Deep Throat was unknown, although Mark Felt was a prime candidate. In a strange coincidence, he was also born in southwest Idaho, in the town of Twin Falls. If you think this house is familiar, it's because it is. This is the yellow house where Frank Black and his family would reside in Chris Carter's quasi-spin-off Millennium. Speaking of which, Gabrielle Rose, a Vancouver-based actor, playing Anita Budahas in this episode, will appear in later episodes of both The X-Files and Millennium. This is the first appearance of the iconic X-Files theme music and title sequence. As for the music, it was created by Mark Snow, and according to him, he created this sound almost by accident after working up several attempts and presenting them to Chris Carter. The title sequence was created by the professional team of Castle Bryant Johnson, who produced the title sequences for several well-known shows like Cheers, Frasier, and another extraterrestrial-themed program, ALF. The UFO image was reminiscent of a string of famous hoax photos, like the Gulf Breeze sighting. The warped face is that of an unnamed post-production assistant. We see the badges of our main characters. In this case, however, Mulder's familiar signature is actually that of Bruce Bryant, while Scully's was done by Carol Johnson of the aforementioned production team.
What reason would the military have to kidnap one of their own pilots?
That's the $64,000 question, Scully.
The $64,000 question was a quiz game show that ran from 1955 to 1958, where the final question was worth $64,000. It was caught up in the quiz show rigging scandal and canceled.
Ever hear of something called the Aurora Project?
Yeah, that's the unacknowledged code name for some new kind of Defense Department surveillance project.
The Pentagon has all but admitted they've been testing a secret class of suborbital spycraft over the western U.S.
The Aurora Project is a bit murkier. Most likely, it was never a real project, but there are some that insist that it was a code name for a prototype of the B-2 stealth bomber, while others suggest that it was and is a real aerospace project capable of hypersonic speeds.
Hi. Are you the FBI agents? I'm Paul Mosinger. I work for the local paper. We live a few houses down from Verla McLennan. She said you guys are out here looking into this Budahas thing.
The CIA has a long history of utilizing journalists as assets, covers, and fronts. Operation Mockingbird, though denied by the CIA, was a decades-long illegal domestic spying and propaganda operation.
Want to see something weird, Mulder? Ellen's Air Base isn't even on my USGS quadrant map.
I know. Let's go.
You know? Where are we going?
We got our own map, sucker.
The CIA finally admitted to the existence of Groom Lake, Area 51, in 2013 after numerous Freedom of Information Act requests revealed details. It was notorious for not being present on any map of the region.
Okay, everybody thinks that they're like UFOs, but I think it's some kind of Star Wars cyber tech newfangled hardware, right? I don't know, they probably rolled out for Desert Storm 2 or something like that.
Here we see Seth Green accurately predicting Gulf War II, install Democracy Boogaloo. We'll have to start keeping count of how many accurate predictions we hear on the X-Files.
This is a photo of a UFO that reportedly crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947.
The Black Triangle UFO is a common version of UFO often seen in real-life hoax photographs, as it was extremely easy to fake at scale. Also, to my knowledge, there were no photos of the Roswell UFO object balloon before it crashed.
Anita, I can't remember.
I think they rewired that man's brain. Some kind of selective memory drain.
The brain doesn't work like that, Mulder. You can't just go in there and erase certain files.
Then you explain it to me. Listen to me, Scully. They can do this. That man, he should have known the answer to the question. It just wasn't in his head anymore.
Colonel Budahas may be suffering from a version of the CIA's MK-Ultra behavior modification program, designed to selectively remove some memories. Whether this was ever possible or not is unknown, but their treatments did include heavy doses of psychoactive drugs and lengthy, brutal conditioning sessions. For our reverse-engineered experimental craft, we see an example of the show's CGI in effect. The lights, however, were produced by that of a disco ball. Mulder's wearing a Georgetown University sweatshirt. If you lived on the East Coast in the 80s or 90s, you were required by law to have at least one friend who possessed Hoya's gear. The origin of the Hoya is unknown to me, but they were a great basketball team and a perennial high seed in the NCAA tournament under John Thompson. Coincidentally, David Duchovny received a basketball scholarship to Princeton University, but only played 1 year before an injury convinced him to switch to baseball. He still loves basketball and is a fan of the New York Knicks. That's it. That's episode 2 Deep Throat Trivia. Our next installment will be episode 3 Squeeze. You can trust me.